Oh, honey, there's no money in that. Just keep your head down, do what you're told, obey, and it'll all work out. Fuck that. Look, we've all heard this famous advice from people that we care about, we love, we respect. But the part they don't tell you is, while they don't have any ill intent, their advice is coming from a place of their own insecurities, their own fears, their own what-ifs that run around in their head, and maybe even just like a twinge of jealousy because you still got that drive and the fire to follow a purpose, any purpose, because see, they've already given up. Now, don't worry, you're going to give up too if you keep listening to this advice, if you keep letting them tell you this stuff. So, hey, I'm talking from experience here. Look, I took the hook, I bought the lie. 37 years I was a good soldier. Yes sir, yes ma'am, did everything I was told to do. And still at the end of the day, I wasn't as happy as I wanted to be. I wasn't as wealthy as I needed to be. And I sure as heck wasn't free, which is my favorite F word. So I want to share a different concept with you today, something I created called the golden intersection. And they're not going to teach you this stuff in school. This is a concept, and I'm going to be very direct. Everything is monetizable. Everything. So how does this work? Well, it starts with you, right? It starts with how are you going to bring your value to the world in a monetizable way. So there are 3 very special and profitable things about you. And if you can play, I call it play, if you can play or monetize any one of these, you're doing better than the majority of the population. Most people will never even get a chance to play in any one of these things. Now, if you can get the intersection of 2 of them, well, you're a 1%er, right? That's that 1%er that people talk about. And I don't mean just in terms of money, but the 1% being top of the game in something, in anything. And then if you can monetize or play in all 3, wow, that's freedom. That's the 100% freedom. So the first one is genius. Genius is your natural talent. It's the thing you do better than everyone else you know. It's that thing I could wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning out of a deep sleep and you can do it, right? In fact, you're so good at it that when you tell people you can do it, you almost have to humble yourself so it doesn't sound like you're bragging. So to even get to this level, you kind of have to take off the humility hat for a second and give yourself credit. But that's the first one. So first one is genius. The second one is expertise. Now this is stuff these are skills that you're not born with, but you busted your ass. Blood, sweat, and tears over years and years of working hard to gain these skills. So that is your expertise. And then finally, passion. And your passion is not something you're necessarily good at, but it's the thing that you just enjoy doing and you would do for free if all your basic needs were met. So if you didn't have to worry about money to pay the bills and to buy food and put a roof over your head, that this is what you would do. In fact, a good sign is this is kind of what you do when you're distracted. You know, those things that we tend to default to when we know we should be doing something in business, and we end up kind of distracting ourselves into what we enjoy doing. So that's passion. Now, if you can play in any one of those, like I said, you're doing better than the majority of the population. But if you can get the intersection on any 2, so what if you can get the intersection on passion and genius? I call that flow. When you're doing something that you really enjoy, it's one of your passions, and you're naturally good at it, that's flow. You're in a flow state. Maybe you've heard of flow state. In sports, it's called the zone. You ever see Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, they just get in the zone, and it's almost like you can't even miss a shot if you tried. What a great place to be. Now, another intersection is passion with expertise. So now I call that joy. You know, when you ever have a really good hard day's work and you just get that feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day because, man, I busted my ass, I worked hard, I worked harder than everyone else, I deserve this reward, right? I deserve this. So when you take what you love and then you put the hard work behind it and you accomplish and you're monetizing it, that's joy. That's appreciation. And then finally, the third intersection is between genius and expertise. Now, that's not a very high emotional state, right? There's no passion in it. No passion. So it's just you're really good at it naturally and you've built some extra expertise and you're combining them. I call that peace. That's the peace of knowing that I got this. This is like business becomes easy. Everything just is. You're not jumping off the roofs, right? You're not super emotional, but you're just at peace. You're like, I never have to worry about business or money again. I'm that good. Now, all three. So this is the ultimate golden intersection. When you can combine all three, it's called, I tricked you. There is no name for it. There is no word in the English language to describe what it's like to combine passion, genius, and expertise. In fact, it would just be doing it a disservice. How dare we even try to assign a word the constraints of language in any language? I don't care what language you're talking about. Any language, we're not going to constrain that being because there's no way to describe it. You just have to experience it. That's the only way. So those are the three. Those are all the intersections. And again, remember, it all starts with you. So here are 3 quick steps to start finding your golden intersection. So first, ask a few friends and family that you like, just the ones you like and respect, not all your friends and family. But ask them what you do best. What are you really, really good at? Say, what are the 3 things? In fact, ask for 3 things that you're really, really good at. And then also ask them, what about me, what do we talk about that lights me up? So you kind of want to get from their perspective, from someone else's perspective, what really lights you up and what you're really, really good at. Second, write your ideal eulogy. And this is going to sound really morbid, but I promise this is so powerful because this is the ultimate form of goal setting. Write your ideal eulogy. And the key to writing your ideal eulogy is being very, very specific. So the whole point here is, what is that legacy you're leaving behind? What is happening at the end of the day? So when I want you to imagine you're at your own eulogy, right? And you can just kind of look over everything. Who's showing up? Specifically, who's showing up to pay respects? Why? Why are they showing up? What did you do for them? What outlived you? What piece of you kept going when you were no longer physically here? If you can answer that question with specifics, because specificity equals reality. It makes it more real. Also, who's giving the eulogy, right? Who's actually live or dead? You could choose anybody you want. Who is delivering your eulogy and why did you choose that person? And then I actually want you to make up 2 people, fictional people. Give them names, give them occupations, give them birth dates, give them, color of their underwear, whatever, I don't care. Make them very, very real. But where were they before they met you? Where were they after they met you? And what would they say if they had 2 minutes at the lectern? If they had 2 minutes to say something to the audience at your eulogy, what would they say? What did they go on to do and impact in their lives because of you? Right? So really, really make this rich. It doesn't have to be long, but really get detailed and make it a really good ideal eulogy. And then you'll see things will come from that. Third, sit quietly. Breathe. Just let things filter out. Don't think about all the stuff in your life and start to get some clarity. Start to really, really start to give yourself credit. Ask yourself those questions. What am I really good at? What should I be doing? What do I want my life to mean? And filter out all that stuff. Filter out all the crap and really sit with yourself. And be careful. Make sure you're listening to you and not listening to the crap that you were told and all that stuff running around in your head. Make sure it's coming from your heart. So there's so much more to dig into on this, and there's so many more details and so many more exercises we can do, but that's all the time we got. So hopefully this has brought some level of awareness, some enlightenment, and also some energy. Hopefully this has inspired you to go and start working on your golden intersection. Find out what that is. Even just the process of going through it will reveal so many new and different and exciting things in your life. This is it. This could be the ticket that accelerates and amplifies the rest of your life. So I love you all. Thank you so much. I hope you find some really, really good value in this. And as always, I'm going to meet you at the top.